Mike McCarthy brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys, and the head coach of America's team joins us here on Shan, RJ, and Bobby. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, Sean, RJ, and Bobby. How we doing?
Got everyone in there today.
Well done.
Yeah, just be appropriate. I got the email last night.
Coach, your favorite or fondest memory of Ezekiel Elliott while you had him?
Oh, probably fondest memory. There's a lot of them, but I think the one thing that was so consistent was his smile. I mean, Zeke just Zeke had such a great energy. He was fun to be around. I mean, obviously, a great player, and everything he did on the field speaks for itself. But I just really admired him as a teammate. I thought he was great for the locker room.
Coach, you held it together pretty well last year in your return to Green Bay. Didn't let the emotions get the best. What advice would you give Zeke for heading back to AT&T Stadium to just keep it composed?
I think the biggest thing is, when you get to the game, the game takes over. The game is actually the easy part. But the pre-game when you're out there working out with the players and coaches, I mean, embrace it. It's always good to see old friends. This is a tough business. And every one of us has a timeline. So I would just tell them to enjoy the moments of coming back home.
So, but you woke up, I think, at 3 a.m., played a couple games of horse, drank 7 cups of coffee, if I remember correctly. Was there a basketball hoop involved or no?
Well, you exaggerate a little bit, yeah.
Was it at 3 a.m. or the couple cups of coffee that was the exaggeration?
Yes. No, I had a couple cups of coffee. Got up early, but it was a later game, so I definitely had some time to myself.
Coach, how would you describe the mood of your team this week at practice?
I would say urgent. I think clearly coming in here Monday, we all felt what we felt the opportunity that we had that we didn't take advantage of. But I think the biggest thing is you have to learn from that. You have to grow on Mondays regardless of the result of Sunday. And I felt like the team, coaches, I felt like we hit the target there. But the practices have been good. It's been hot, obviously, as you know. So, but they've been spirited practices both Wednesday and Thursday.
Do you believe in bad losses? Like there's some people who say that's a good loss. You learn. Do you believe that some losses are worse than others? Yeah, I mean, it's losing leaves a dent. I mean, it's that's the reality of sports, particularly the game of football. So, and some dents are bigger than others. Yes, I do believe that. But the most important part of it is to make sure you learn from it. And it's early. It's an early loss, so you can gain a little more energy on it. But at the end of the day, you have to turn the page. Which we all do by the time the players left here Monday, and we have a big opportunity right in front of us with the New England Patriots.
Coach, part of your job is to act medium all the time, which we think you do a good job of doing. Does a part of you, like on Monday, want to see if the guys come in acting medium, or do you want to see them pissed off and furious?
I want them to be themselves. I want them to feel what they feel. But understand that I'm not into, I think some people, can get a little loose when they not sure exactly how to act. So I mean, and it's just like anything. This is a team. We're dealing with over 100 people in our inner circle here. So everybody's personality is a little different, but at the end of the day, it's what they do with their energy and focusing on, and obviously we had more corrections Monday than we had this year so far. So because of our performance. So the most important part is that they were focusing on the growth opportunity.
Coach, there's obviously been a lot of discussion about the red zone efficiency, how things have gone there the last 2 weeks. Is this just coming down to an execution problem? How have you been able to assess some of the issues down there over the last 2 weeks?
I think, first of all,
I think like overall statistical analysis, early in the season, they can you can swing the pendulum in a game or two. So I think you have to be cognizant of that because when you do look at the full body of statistics, from the analytics department, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of positive components of the offense. Number one, the ability to move the ball, and we're number one in the National Football League in red zone opportunities. So we're moving the ball down there, and it's and it's not just from favorable field position. I think we're also number one in the league in 10+ play drives. So there's a tremendous amount of productivity, but that is a component that I think is factored in how particularly the jet game was played. And so, the point I'm making is you have to look at all the variables, but most importantly is you look at the things that didn't go well, the opportunities that that didn't convert to get in, and you just focus on the details of those opportunities and how you can apply them forward. So we have work to do, and we put the red zone in Wednesday night like we always do, practiced it yesterday, and we'll hit it again today, and then we'll have another segment on it tomorrow. So you just got to work on it because this challenge from the Patriots defense is different than the first three challenges too. So we got to really focus on not only what we're doing but who we're attacking.
Is that something that the red zone? Do you think it's something that evens out over the course of the year, or is it at some point does it become an actual concern?
Well, I mean, you're going to work your situations every single day, and obviously red zone is a primary situation that you need to, you definitely don't want to go down there and kick field goals all the time.
Right.
But it's week 4. We're really focused on getting to 3-1, but we're on top of the details of everything we're doing. So we definitely want to be better in the red zone.
Mike McCarthy here on the Fan. Coach, just overall, we like to ask you philosophical football questions. How long until you view something as a trend to start the season? Because I agree with you. You can get these crazy swings 3 games in. I personally think things have been affected, when you guys are blowing teams out the first 2 weeks. I kind of discount, some of the fourth quarter stuff when clock is being run. How many games until you say, okay, this is a trend?
Well, I think that, I talked to the team about this on Wednesday. We have, 3 blinking lights, red lights, but there's a lot of blinking green lights, positive components. But the 3 things that we got to focus on, and 2 of them were points that showed up, last year, and that's, it's the team penalties in the run defense. So we know that the offenses that compete against us because we have a tremendous amount of pass rush ability. I mean, this is as good as a pass rush group that I've been a part of. I mean, the depth of it is extraordinary. So we got to that's a constant challenge that we're going to have. So that the focus here is extremely high on the run defense. And then we had 2 games. I think we averaged 5 penalties, and if you're 5 penalties or less, a game, so that'll put you exactly where you want to be at the end of the year. But the penalties in the first half, I'm more concerned about the penalty prevention. We spend probably more time on penalty prevention, video and education than we normally do each week, and it's something that we're really focused on because the play style that our standard of play style, it's an aggressive play style, and we're trying to push the envelope, and every chance we can, we got to be extremely disciplined, especially in the pre-snap.
Coach, what are you seeing from this Patriots defense that presents its own different challenges for Sunday?
Well, I mean, it's a good defense. I mean, there's a lot of history. His ability. It starts with the 3-4, but you got to be ready for him to turn the 4-3 on. Both Brian and I were talking last night as we're playing at the beginning of the game, and we both have called games against Coach Belichick where he has flipped the script. So it's really being prepared for that. But
very fundamentally sound, which has always been the case. You know, they have a distinct style how they play, particularly with the interior players. They set the edges. They do a really good job schematically, you know, keeping you from running keeps and trying to get the ball in the perimeter. And I think that their secondary does a really good job of, you know, getting their hands on you, you know, redirecting routes, and they're playing with really good vision. So this is a tough defense.
Coach Schottenheimer said, well, Will Greer and Zeke, they know where all the bodies are buried. Is that a small issue, a medium issue, or a large issue in terms of accounting for guys that you just had that know your offense?
I think, like anything, it's good to have those, you know, those variables during preparation. You address them, you're aware of them. But, you know, I think once the game started, my experience is, you know, once the game started, that, you know, that threat goes away. So you have to be conscientious of, you know, their understanding of how we operate. You know, and I feel like our coaches have done a good job with that.
Coach, we've talked a lot about this, and I know social media has as well, about limiting turnovers, and in doing so, maybe also limiting Dak and what he's able to do, or the risks he's able to take. Do you agree with that? That, like, are you limiting the quarterback in this new offense?
We've played 3 games. You know, one was in the rain. Another one we had a significant lead. You know, where we're really focused on keeping the ball at a low risk away from an excellent defense. So we moved the ball up and down the field in the 3rd game. Didn't put it in the end zone. So I think that's a closer reality of where we are in offense and what we're asking Dak to do.
Coach, though, with the West Coast offense in general, I don't know it's been termed Texas Coast here because it's West Coast with some particular influences and some particular ideas and concepts. But is it something naturally with the West Coast where the vertical concepts are not going to be put into place the same way that they are in maybe more like an Air Coryell or something like that?
No, I wouldn't. No, I don't think that's the definition of it at all. The detail of the West Coast offense, as far as, you know, the quarterback's footwork and the routes in every system has it. There's just a history of how it's done in the West Coast, and it's like every system. You know, we all run similar plays or variation of similar schemes. You know, just you may add motion to it, or you may add a shift or a motion to it. But at the end of the day, the most important part of it is the execution. So the components and the details of how one coaching staff teaches it is different than the others. Everybody doesn't teach the 4 vertical exactly the same. You know, there's just different. You know, there's different footworks that you see out there, and so that's really what the definition lies.
Coach, you guys had a lot of turnover on the offensive line this past week, just a lot of bumps and bruises, missing Zach Martin, Tyler Biotish, Tyron Smith. Martin and Biotish, guys who it looked like trending the right direction, being limited yesterday in practice. Tyron, another DNP. Where do things just stand in terms of the health of the offensive line with those 3?
Well, I'm really hoping Tyler and Zach come in here today and you know, are feeling good, but they're definitely, you know, making a lot of progress. You know, I anticipate Tyron would be in the rehab group today.
Coach, if Tyron's not able to go, what do you like about Udoka at left tackle with Tyler at left guard versus swapping them?
Continuity, clearly, and I think Chuma's clearly more comfortable playing tackle. And I think he's done a good job. I mean, it's, you know, you got to remember he missed a lot of camp too, so the continuity between him and Tyler is important because, you know, the connection in the offensive line. You know, you can make an argument that takes more reps than any other position, you know, on the football field. So the positive is we're getting some continuity there between those guys, and he definitely, you know, his experience to play both positions is a huge asset for us. But in my opinion, I think he's more comfortable at tackle.
Coach, I haven't asked you about the Patriots offense yet. Is it mostly the same as it's been, you know, for the last 20 or so years minus Brady, or what's their offense look like?
You see some carryover, but Bill O'Brien's back. You know, it's an interesting. I have a lot of respect for Bill. I think is an outstanding football coach. And you look at his path, from New England, and he was in the college game both at Penn State and Alabama, and and now he's back in New England. So, and I think clearly, his understanding of Jones and what makes him tick. You can see the direction that they're going. But yeah, I mean, you do see some of the old concepts, but I think they really do a good job of playing complementary football and being selective on how they're going to attack you. So I mean, they have weapons, and but yeah, you can see Bill's impact clearly on this year's offense.
Coach, thank you so much for the time as always. We appreciate it. Best of luck on Sunday, and we'll do it again next week.
Excellent. Have a great day, man.
You too, sir. Mike McCarthy, brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys, here on Shan, RJ, and Bobby.
You sirred him. Okay, I like that.